Hey there, efficiency enthusiasts. Ever walk into a workspace and feel a disturbance in the force? Like a chaotic energy sucking the life out of your productivity? Yeah, we've all been there. Clutter, disorganization, tools gone AWOL, it's enough to make a Jedi Master lose their cool. But fear not, my friends, because today we're embarking on a journey towards workplace Zen. We're talking about the legendary 5S methodology, a system so powerful it can transform even the most chaotic workspace into a haven of efficiency. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5S sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. The traditional 5S, while effective, can feel a bit, shall we say, dry. Like eating your vegetables, you know it's good for you, but it's not exactly a party in your mouth. The traditional 5S, with its Japanese terms, seiri, seiton, seiso, seiketsu, shitsuke, can feel like you're trying to learn a new language. And let's be honest, who has time for that when you're already drowning in a sea of clutter? It's like trying to learn Klingon just to ask for directions to the bathroom. But fear not, my fellow efficiency warriors, because I'm about to drop some serious knowledge on you. We're about to unlock the secrets of 5S in a way that's not only effective, but also engaging. And dare I say fun. Think of it like this. We're taking the boring old 5S textbook and rewriting it as a superhero comic. Get ready to say goodbye to the days of lost tools, misplaced files, and that nagging feeling of where do I even begin? Because we're about to unleash the power of Tower. That's right, Tower. This isn't just a random word, it's an acronym, my friends. A secret code to unlock the true potential of 5S. Each letter represents a key step in the process, making it easier to remember and even more fun to implement. Think of Tower as your trusty sidekick, your guide on this epic journey towards workplace organization. With Tower by your side, you'll be clearing clutter and boosting productivity like a boss. So, what does Tower stand for? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get real. Organize the place, establish standards. Repeating a PDCA cycle, see? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. With Tower, you'll be speaking fluent 5S in no time. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, Master Chief, you've got my attention, but how does this whole Tower thing actually work? Well, my friend, that's what we're here to find out. Over the next few minutes, we'll be diving deep into each letter of the Tower acronym, exploring each step of the 5S methodology in detail. We'll be laughing, we'll be learning, and by the end of this video, you'll be well on your way to becoming a certified Tower Master. So, grab your cleaning supplies, put on your game face, and let's get this party started. It's time to conquer clutter and build a workplace worthy of envy, one Tower step at a time.
Alright, efficiency aficionados, let's kick things off with the first glorious step in our Tower journey. Take everything out and less items will be back. That's right, you heard me correctly. We're about to channel our inner Marie Kondo, but instead of sparking joy, we're sparking a full-blown organizational revolution. Now, before you start hyperventilating at the thought of unleashing the contents of your workspace upon the world, take a deep breath. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a perfectly organized workspace. We're taking it one step at a time, and this first step is all about assessing the situation. Think of it like this. You wouldn't bake a cake without first gathering your ingredients, right? Well, organizing your workspace is no different. We need to take stock of everything we have, identify the good, the bad, and the just plain ugly, before we can start whipping up a masterpiece of efficiency. So how do we go about this taking everything out business? Well, my friends, it's time to roll up our sleeves, grab some boxes or bins, and prepare for the great workspace excavation. We're talking a deep dive, a thorough exploration into the depths of your workspace. No drawer left unopened, no shelf left unturned. Start by clearing off a designated area, a table, the floor, whatever space you can spare. This will be your sorting ground, your organizational battle station. Now, with the heart of an explorer and the determination of a warrior, begin removing everything from your workspace. Yes, I mean everything. Tools, equipment, materials, stationery, that half-eaten bag of chips you've been saving for a special occasion. Spoiler alert, it's not getting any fresher. Everything must go. Think of it like a temporary relocation program for your belongings. They'll thank you for it later. Now that you've unearthed the hidden treasures in your workspace, it's time for the hard part, deciding what stays and what goes. Be ruthless, be decisive, and most importantly, be honest with yourself. Ask yourself these 3 crucial questions. Do I need this? Is this the right place? How often do I use this? Every item should have a purpose and a place. If it doesn't, it's time to bid it farewell. Section 4. A place for everything and everything in its place, ideally. Now that you've channeled your inner organizational Marie Kondo and purged your workspace of unnecessary clutter, it's time to tackle the keep pile. Remember that age-old saying, a place for everything and everything in its place? Well, it's about to become your new mantra. As you sort through the items you've deemed worthy of staying in your workspace, start thinking about where they should live. The goal here is to create a logical and intuitive layout where everything is easy to find and access. Consider factors like frequency of use, item size, and proximity to your main work area. High-traffic items should be within arm's reach, while those used less often can be stored further away. Group similar items together, wrenches with wrenches, pens with pens. You get the idea. And don't be afraid to get creative with storage solutions. Vertical space is your friend, people.
All right, efficiency enthusiasts, we've tackled the take everything out step like champions. Now we're moving on to the O in Tower. Organize the place. That's right, it's time to transform that chaotic pile of keep items into a symphony of organization. Think of it like this. You wouldn't just throw your clothes back into your closet after doing laundry, would you? Don't answer that. Just like your wardrobe, your workspace deserves a little TLC in the arrangement department. We're talking designated zones, strategic placement, and a place for everything, so everything can finally be in its place. Remember those boxes and bins we used for sorting? They're about to become your best friends in this organizational escapade. As you unpack each item, resist the urge to simply put it back where it used to be. Instead, ask yourself, where is the most logical and efficient place for this to live now? One of the keys to creating a truly organized workspace is to establish designated zones for different activities and items. Think of it like zoning laws for your workspace, keeping everything in its rightful place and preventing chaos from spilling over. For example, you might have a dedicated zone for tools, a zone for materials, a zone for paperwork, and a zone for those random but essential items that don't quite fit anywhere else. We all have them. Within each zone, you can further organize by category, frequency of use, or any other system that makes sense for your workflow. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to zoning. The key is to create a system that works for you and your unique needs. So, put on your thinking caps, channel your inner urban planner, and let's get zoning. Section 3. Labeling Nirvana. No more guessing games. Now that you've got your zones established and your items strategically placed, it's time to take your organization to the next level. Labeling, my friends, labeling. Because who has time for guessing games when you're on a mission to conquer the world? Or at least your to-do list. Labels are the unsung heroes of the organized workspace. They provide clarity, eliminate confusion, and save you precious time and energy that would otherwise be wasted on searching for misplaced items. Plus, let's be honest, there's just something so satisfying about seeing everything neatly labeled and in its rightful place. Invest in a good label maker. Trust me, it's worth it. And go to town labeling everything in sight. Bins, drawers, shelves, even individual tools and materials. Be clear, be concise, and don't be afraid to get creative with your labels. A little humor goes a long way in making even the most mundane tasks more enjoyable. Section 4. A visual symphony of organization. As you put the finishing touches on your newly organized workspace, take a step back and admire your handiwork. You've gone from clutter chaos to organizational bliss, and it feels good, doesn't it? But our work here isn't quite done yet. Remember, the goal of 5S isn't just to create a clean and organized workspace. It's to create a workspace that is visually appealing and easy to navigate. We're talking about creating a visual symphony of organization, a masterpiece of efficiency that would make even Marie Kondo proud. Consider adding visual cues, such as color-coded labels or bins, to further enhance your organizational system. Use clear storage containers to make it easy to see what's inside, and don't forget about the power of lighting. A well-lit workspace is not only more inviting, but it also makes it easier to find what you're looking for.
Section 1. Shine time. Time to make it sparkle. All right, my fellow efficiency enthusiasts, we've tackled the T and the O in Tower, like true organizational ninjas. Now, it's time to roll up our sleeves and unleash our inner clean freaks. Because the W in Tower stands for wipe and find abnormalities. Break out the cleaning supplies, crank up the tunes, and make our workspaces shine brighter than a supernova. We're going deep, getting meticulous, and leaving no speck of dust unturned. A clean workspace is more visually appealing and conducive to productivity. Section 2. Deep Dive. Unmasking the hidden dirt. Now, before you go all gung-ho with the cleaning spray, let's talk strategy. Remember, we're not just cleaning for the sake of cleaning here. We're cleaning with a purpose. We're on a mission to uncover hidden dirt, grime, and those pesky abnormalities that can wreak havoc on our efficiency. Start by taking a step back and really looking at your workspace. Where are the high-traffic areas? Where does dust tend to accumulate? What about those hard-to-reach nooks and crannies that rarely see the light of day, or the business end of a cleaning cloth? Once you've identified the areas that need the most attention, it's time to gather your cleaning arsenal. And no, I'm not talking about just any old cleaning supplies. We're talking about the good stuff, the heavy hitters, the cleaning equivalent of a Jedi Master's lightsaber. Think microfiber cloths, all-purpose cleaners, disinfectant wipes, and maybe even a toothbrush or two for those extra stubborn spots. Don't judge, we've all been there. Section 3. The Abnormality Detective. Sherlock Holmes has nothing on you. As you're cleaning, channel your inner Sherlock Holmes and keep a keen eye out for any abnormalities. And I'm not just talking about a rogue paperclip or a misplaced stapler here. We're talking about anything that seems out of place, damaged, or in need of repair. This could include broken or worn-out tools, loose screws or bolts, frayed cords or cables, leaking fluids, unusual noises or smells. Remember, a stitch in time saves 9, and addressing abnormalities early on can prevent bigger problems down the road. So don't be afraid to get up close and personal with your workspace. Inspect every nook and cranny and report any suspicious activity, or just fix it yourself. You got this. Section 4. A clean slate for efficiency. Literally. As you finish cleaning and inspecting your workspace, take a moment to appreciate the transformation. Your workspace is now a beacon of cleanliness and organization, a shining example of efficiency in action. And, more importantly, it's a space that you can feel good working in. But our work here isn't done yet. Remember, the W in Tower also stands for establishing a cleaning schedule. Because, let's face it, even the most meticulously cleaned workspace won't stay that way for long without a little maintenance. So, take a few minutes to create a realistic cleaning schedule that works for you and your workflow. This could involve daily, weekly, or monthly tasks, depending on the nature of your work and the level of cleanliness required. The key is to make it a habit, a regular part of your routine, so that your workspace stays sparkling clean and primed for productivity.
All right, efficiency aficionados, we've officially reached the E in Tower, which stands for established standards. And no, I'm not talking about those stuffy, boring rules your grandma used to nag you about. We're talking about creating a set of guidelines, a code of conduct, if you will, that will keep your newly organized workspace from descending back into chaos. Think of it like this. Remember that time you tried to assemble that IKEA bookshelf without looking at the instructions? Yeah, we all know how that turned out. Establishing standards is like providing the instruction manual for your workspace, ensuring that everyone is on the same page and that your hard-earned organization doesn't crumble faster than a cookie in a toddler's hand. Now, before you start picturing yourself drowning in a sea of paperwork and laminated signs, take a deep breath. Establishing standards doesn't have to be a soul-sucking endeavor. In fact, it can be surprisingly simple and even, dare I say it, fun. One of the most effective ways to establish standards is through the power of visuals. Remember, a picture is worth 1,000 words, especially when it comes to conveying information quickly and efficiently. Think about using clear, concise labels for everything in your workspace, from tools and equipment to storage bins and shelves. Color coding can also be your best friend, helping to visually categorize items and designate specific areas for certain tasks. And don't forget about the power of visual aids like diagrams, flowcharts, and even good old-fashioned photographs. A simple visual representation of how a task should be performed or how a piece of equipment should be used can be worth its weight in gold, especially for new employees or those who are still getting the hang of things. Another key element of establishing standards is creating checklists for routine tasks and procedures. Checklists are like the safety net of the organized world, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks and that every step is accounted for. Whether it's a daily cleaning checklist, a weekly maintenance checklist for equipment, or a step-by-step checklist for a specific work process, having a clear and concise list of what needs to be done helps prevent errors, reduces wasted time and effort, and ultimately boosts overall efficiency. And here's a pro tip. Don't be afraid to get creative with your checklists. Use humor, add a touch of personality, and make them visually appealing to encourage engagement and compliance. Remember, a checklist that's fun to use is more likely to be used effectively. Section 4, the audit of awesomeness. We can't just establish standards and let them gather dust. We need to make sure those standards are being followed. And that's where audits come in. Think of audits as friendly accountability buddies. They're about assessing progress and identifying areas for improvement. Regular audits provide valuable feedback and help maintain standards. Keep audits positive and solutions-oriented. Celebrate successes, acknowledge challenges, and continuously improve.
Section 1. The Circle of Organizational Life. Repeat in a PDCA cycle. The R that keeps on giving, transforming a one-time blitz into a sustainable system. Achieving Workplace Zen is about a continuous cycle of improvement. Think of it like an epic quest, evolving and adapting to overcome obstacles. The PDCA cycle is our framework to continuously evaluate and improve our systems. Section 2. Plan, the blueprint for sustained success. The P in PDCA stands for plan, and it's all about laying the groundwork for success. Remember that detailed organizational plan we crafted back in the established standard step? Well, now it's time to put that plan into action, but not before giving it a quick once-over. Think of this stage as the pre-flight check for our organizational spaceship. We need to make sure everything is in tip-top shape and ready for launch.
Review your established standards, checklists, and visual aids. Are they still relevant? Are they being followed? Are there any areas where they could be improved or streamlined? Don't be afraid to gather feedback from your fellow crewmates, aka your colleagues, during this stage. They might have valuable insights or suggestions based on their own experiences. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work, even when it comes to something as seemingly mundane as workplace organization. Section 3. Do action. Lights, camera, organize. With our plan in place and our pre-flight check complete, it's time for the D and PDCA, do. This is where the rubber meets the road, the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to put our plan into action and watch the magic of organization unfold. But hold on a minute, my eager efficiency enthusiasts. Before we get too carried away with the thrill of implementation, let's remember the importance of starting small and scaling up gradually. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a perfectly organized workplace, no matter how much we might wish it were so. Focus on implementing 1 or 2 new standards or procedures at a time, allowing your team to adjust and provide feedback before moving on to the next. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint, and slow and steady wins the race for sustained organizational bliss. Section 4. Check. The Efficiency Inspector Gadget. Now that we've set our plan in motion, it's time for the C in PDCA. Check. We're talking about checking in on our progress, evaluating our results, and identifying any areas where we might need to make a course correction. Gather data, analyze findings, and determine what worked, what didn't, and what we can do better next time.
Well, my fellow efficiency enthusiasts, we've reached the summit of our organizational Everest. We've journeyed through the tower, conquered clutter, and emerged victorious on the other side, basking in the afterglow of a workspace that's not only clean and organized, but also humming with the sweet sound of productivity. Remember that chaotic scene we started with? Tools gone AWOL, paperwork threatening to engulf entire cubicles, a general sense of, where do I even begin? It all seems like a distant, hazy memory now, doesn't it? Like that time you tried to make a souffle and it ended up flatter than a pancake. But unlike that culinary catastrophe, the results of our tower transformation are here to stay. We've not just cleaned and organized, we've created a system, a sustainable framework for maintaining this newfound organizational bliss for weeks, months, even years to come. And that, my friends, is something worth celebrating. Think back to the days before Tower entered your life. Remember the frustration of searching for misplaced tools, the wasted time sifting through mountains of paperwork, the constant feeling of being one misplaced stapler away from a full-blown meltdown? Those days are gone, my friends, banished to the realm of distant, unpleasant memories. Like that one time you accidentally wore mismatched socks to an important meeting. With Tower as our guide, we've unlocked a level of efficiency we never thought possible. We've streamlined workflows, minimized wasted time and effort, and created a workspace that's not only visually appealing, but also a joy to work in. And that, my friends, is the true magic of Tower. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about creating an environment that supports and enhances our productivity, allowing us to focus on what truly matters, conquering the world, or at least our to-do list. But our journey doesn't end here, my fellow efficiency enthusiasts. Remember, the R in Tower stands for repeat, and that's not just a suggestion, it's a way of life, just like a well-oiled machine, or a perfectly calibrated telescope if you'll indulge my inner astrophysicist. Our newly organized workspace requires regular maintenance to keep it running smoothly. So, embrace the PDCA cycle, my friends. Regularly review your standards, gather feedback, and make adjustments as needed. Remember, the journey towards efficiency is an ongoing one, a continuous cycle of improvement and refinement. And the best part? It gets easier over time. The more you practice the principles of Tower, the more ingrained they become in your daily routine, until organization becomes less of a chore and more of a natural, effortless habit. As we conclude our tower adventure, I want to leave you with one final thought, my fellow efficiency enthusiasts. Never underestimate the power of a well-organized workspace. It's not just about aesthetics or impressing your colleagues, though those are certainly nice perks. It's about creating an environment that supports your productivity, reduces stress, and ultimately allows you to do your best work. So, go forth and organize, my friends. Embrace the tower, unleash your inner efficiency ninja, and transform your workspaces into havens of organizational bliss. And remember, if you ever find yourself feeling overwhelmed or discouraged, just remember the words of a wise old astrophysicist. That's me. The universe may be chaotic, but your workspace doesn't have to be. If you're in a situation where this information is useful, remember to say El Master Chief told you.